Hi, welcome to Similar But Different, the podcast. Let's do that again. Okay. But I'm getting all the benefits.
Without having to pay.
Right.
Yeah, they screwed me. And then I found a bunch of friends that I was different from. I think I'd like the gram more if I got hit up in my DMs.
Okay, this should probably end. Hi, welcome to Similar But Different. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Jen.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, Rach.
How's it going?
It's great. Just nice and relaxed from a nice long weekend.
Yeah, I had to shut you up downstairs. Jen, to all the folks listening, watching, has a problem, which I do love that as soon as I come in the door, you want to be like, here are all these updates on my life. And I'm like, we are literally about to go upstairs to discuss updates in our lives.
Updates on lives, yep.
Yeah, so I felt bad. She told me something really exciting, and I essentially said, shut up.
Yeah.
Save this for the pod. And then you're like, sorry. But, and then you kept going.
I can't help myself, okay? It's just so exciting.
All right. So, well, one exciting thing, you got your house cleaned.
Oh my
today.
gosh. Rachel recommended, and I believe it's you and your husband both recommended, because also I need to call the electrician. Anyways, a wonderful
Skylar
cleaning.
did find her.
Then I give the credit to Skylar, because I had my house cleaned today. Very lucky. And she did amazing.
Yeah, she is incredible.
Like
she does a good job. She's, I would say, like appropriately priced for the quality that she provides.
Yeah.
She's also just very kind and sweet.
Yes. All of those things.
Yeah.
Yes. Very nice.
Did she love on Penny, or did you hide Penny away?
Well, we hide Penny away, but like in the beginning, loves.
Yeah.
Penny gets the loves, and then we go hide up in a room.
Yeah.
But I mean, this house has never looked this good, even when I first bought it.
Yeah.
It's like, man.
As soon as I walked in the door, I was like,
it smells nice.
Liliana has been here. This is her brand.
There's no better feeling than, it used to be when you come home from work, because obviously you leave the house. But if you leave the house and you come home to a spotless, clean home.
Yeah.
It's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah.
And I now get to have that, even though I'm still at the house. But it's like I open the door.
Yeah, and you're like, wow. Yeah, so for anyone who is local to the Richmond area, and needs a cleaner, let me know.
Yeah,
because I've had some not great ones. So.
I've had plenty of not great ones.
Yeah,
I can tell you all of the not great ones, and then give you a great one.
Yeah.
So yeah, but what I couldn't shut up about, and I'm still very excited about it. So this past weekend, we had 4 days to just do nothing. And one of those days we decided to spend and book a random spontaneous trip to Paris.
Yeah, that's so exciting.
Well, to be fair, Nathan was already going to Bruges with some of his guy friends in September. Bruges, beer festival, cool thing for him. And he was like, I was looking at flights, and the flights to Paris are really affordable.
Where is Bruges?
Bruges is in Brussels.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait, Belgium. Wait,
Brussels, Belgium, Bruges.
Belgium, Bruges, and Brussels. It's in Belgium.
Okay, it's not in France.
No, it's not in France. It's close to Amsterdam.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not going there. I don't care about that place.
Really?
I'm not going to the Bruges part.
You have no interest in see, that would be very hard for me. Sorry to cut you off from the exciting news, but this is sometimes with me and Skylar too. If he's going on a cool trip, I'm like, I want to come. And sometimes I'll be like, oh, I feel guilty that I'm going to this place and you're not coming. He's like, it's fine. But he also likes to travel.
Interesting.
But I think maybe this is you. He's like, I don't want to join you on a trip with your high school girlfriends. That's not going to be fun for me.
That's me. Yeah. So that's exact. So he was going on a trip to Bruges, and I was very much like, yeah, that's a great opportunity. You should do it. And he's like, flights to Paris are affordable. Let's go to Paris a week early. And I can't, we get the most out of his flight because he'll spend then 2 weeks there. It'll be a whole week there that we spend in Paris. We loved Paris when we went at the beginning of our honeymoon and only got to spend 2 days there. So it was cool. But I was like, look, we don't need that. I don't need that. You should still go to Bruges, but I don't want to spend the money.
You don't need
to
go anywhere.
Pretty much where we wound up. It was very much I don't want to spend the money. We wanted to pay off the garage faster. We've been trying to really get that down. And I was like, it doesn't make sense. I was like, it makes sense for you to go because your friends are going and there's a thing for you to do, but it's not like I'm going to see Taylor Swift. I'm not dropping everything to go. Not that I did, but I want
romantic fun getaway with my husband. No.
No.
Taylor Swift, sure.
Totally.
Which I do
You
understand,
get it. But yeah, no, he kinda just, like he wore me down, and this weekend I was like, "Yeah, it's worth it, we're gonna do
I
it."
would not need convincing, especially because you said you got a good deal. Now, if it was like, oh, flights are $2,000 a piece and lodge, like
Mm-mm.
if it was going to be this like huge thing,
I mean, Paris is not cheap to be in general. It's cheap to get there,
yeah,
not cheap
which
to
is
stay there.
usually the opposite for
Yeah.
US travel to Europe.
It
It's expensive to get there,
Oh,
but
yeah.
then once you're there, well, granted, the like big
It
popular
depends where you
cities like
go.
Paris, London, they're always going to be expensive. But
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's, I mean, I also got $200 off because I had Capital One bonus points, cashback,
nice
whatever it was. And so, yeah, total flight was less than $500
for
for
each.
me.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
His flight was only 800, some
Yeah.
816, and he's going for, yeah, like a week and a half or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm
That's awesome.
excited.
That's gonna be so fun.
Yeah, it's not until September, and
Okay,
yet
all you say it's not until September. I was gonna say that's very soon.
well, that's
Normally when you're like, "Oh, we're going to Europe," it's like we're going in 8 months or something.
yeah, but, I mean, when someone says we're going to Paris right now, you're like, "Oh, you're going for the Olympics."
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so we're gonna be right at the end of the special
That
Paralympics.
would have been
Since
fun for you to go to the
whatever.
Olympics, especially since you're both such big sports people.
Yeah, but
Do you have no interest?
in being there for the Olympics,
Yeah.
no,
It kinda
not
seems
really.
overwhelming. Even though you get excited
That's
about
my problem.
big, like, football matches and
Yes.
football meaning soccer, but, like
Yes. And I would
and
go
those
to
can
that.
be scary over there.
Oh, it
Like,
can
they
be.
get violent
Yes.
and mean.
I mean, hey, it's real life for them. I don't actually understand it. I love the atmosphere though. Like,
That's
the
interesting.
environment's really cool, which, yeah, it's very interesting considering I don't like crowded like, anywhere else, I'm like, "No." But,
Yeah.
like, that atmosphere, I'm, like, feeding off of it. Like,
Okay.
"Yeah, your team is trash."
Yeah, I guess I don't feel that passionately, but okay, so you're going to Paris in September,
Yes.
and
Which is
yeah,
we have not done any vacations that we've paid for. My
yeah,
parents did take us on that wonderful vacation to Cancun. This is just our vacation this year
yeah,
now.
that's nice.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
especially in, like, a whole week. I know, like
That's what I 100% needed.
yeah, when Skylar and I went on our honeymoon 7 years ago, we were like, "This is first time going on a extended trip, just the 2 of us."
Oh,
Like, it was always like, "Oh, we go to the beach with my family for a week," or we a lot of times take advantage of, like, long weekends and
yep.
do trips
Okay.
together, just us, but we'd
I
never
get
gone
that.
on, like, a week-long trip,
Ooh.
so it was so nice.
Yeah,
And
I'm
even since
excited.
then, we haven't wait,
No?
no, that's not true.
Okay. Don't lie to the people. I feel like we did 2 weeks of bouncing around too much on our honeymoon, and I'm excited that we're just gonna be in one place.
Yeah, so are you gonna stay in Paris the whole time or at least stay in France the whole time?
That's the plan. If there's like a train ride to somewhere nearby that might be a cool day trip, we
Yeah,
might do it that way, but I think for the most part, we just wanna enjoy it.
yeah.
Like, we wanna eat all the food, we're big foodies, so it's mostly a food trip to go eat all of the food.
Oh, that's gonna be so you should do a food tour.
Yes, because that is what we talked about as the best thing to do when you go to
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying.
No, it's
That
actually a
would
really good
be a
idea.
really fun thing,
Yeah,
and
we
they're
did
super
that all on
affordable.
our
Check
honeymoon,
Airbnb
so
experiences.
yeah, we've been looking at so I've never been to a Michelin star restaurant.
Oh,
I don't know, have you?
no?
Okay, yeah, I've never been. And I'm like, "Let's do it." Like, let's pick a Michelin star restaurant. They have a
Yes.
million in
I
Paris.
love this. Well,
And
I know that from Emily in Paris.
yes, nailing
That
it.
quality TV
Gosh,
show.
when is that episode come or new season coming out?
It shouldn't. It's not good.
I love it. I love trash TV.
Yeah, it's very interesting to me. You are like you love like rom-com TV. And that just like is not what
It's
I would pick for you.
it's the way I see it is I want to get out of the real world. Rom-com is
Yeah.
fake, and so is fantasy, so are werewolves and vampires and magical beings.
Yeah, that's what my mom says cuz I like shows that are like dark comedies, so it's basically like real life dramas that are funny moments. I
Yeah.
really enjoy those types of shows. And my mom's like, I don't want to watch that.
No.
That's life.
Yeah.
I don't need to experience more of that. I'm trying to escape.
I am 100% with her on that. That
Yeah.
is
So
like,
she's
that's my
like,
thought
give me a
process.
nice CBS laugh
Yep.
track comedy.
Yep. I would even probably put on, what is that? The Hallmark channel. I might throw that on because that is just a joke.
Yeah.
But I mean, for the most part, I want fantasy. And then after that, it's rom-com. And then after that, it's action.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, we're very different in that way.
yeah.
But that's
Oh,
going to be awesome. I'm
I'm
glad
excited.
your husband had to talk you into a trip to Paris.
Yeah. Yeah. We keep saying that, like, oh, like this might be, well, we use this might be our last trip to take before we have a kid because, trying to have a kid. And we did that for Oktoberfest when we
Yeah.
went last October, September, October, to Munich. And so I was like, can't say that again. And Nathan's like, yeah, we can say that again.
Say that
We can
as
say
much
that.
as you want. I mean, honestly, we talked about on an episode recently how we're like at an age where we have more disposable income. We both don't have children. So it's like, yeah, take advantage of the time. And it's
Opportunities when they
like you
come.
have the opportunity, go, because when you do get pregnant, that's going to be harder to do.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
Go full
That's
throttle.
awesome.
Although now that I think about it, it would probably suck if I was pregnant while we're there.
Yeah,
'Cause there's some
probably.
cool like bars that we want to go to that I'm like, and I love an Aperol spritz. I don't know if that's Paris. That was probably more Italy, but
They were very
vacation.
popular, or we heard of them for the first time. Skylar and I were in Europe in 2019, and I would get them a lot. But then I think like they came over here in the last few years, they became very
It's new over
popular.
here. I think it's
Yeah,
newer over here.
so
Huh.
I got on the trend
You were before me too,
quickly.
so
But I actually realized I don't like them that much. Like
What?
I first had a few and I was like, oh, how fun! I love this beverage,
Yeah.
and then I decided I didn't really like them. I think they have too much of a dry, like ginny taste. I feel like
Oh, I love a gin.
no, I only like gins with a J.
I don't blame you.
No G gins.
I sometimes feel like certain cocktails can be specific to a vacation mode. Like when you're in vacation mode, you're like, yeah, I'll have a pina colada.
Yeah,
Outside of that, you're like, no, why the fuck would I drink this cup of sugar?
right. Like margaritas.
Oh, but I love a margarita.
Yeah, you had some good time with
Got a
some
little
margs
tipsy with a marg over our
last weekend.
wonderful holiday weekend.
Oh, tell me about it.
Oh my gosh. So when I say wonderful, I don't mean actually the fourth and where we had like people over. It was great. I had a nice time. Don't get me wrong, people. The best part of it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, where we did nothing. We watched the Euro games on Friday and Saturday, got frozen margaritas, got tipsy drunk, and went out to restaurants and left Penny at home.
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
That's growth.
That was huge.
What restaurants did you go to?
Nothing fancy. We went to
Okay,
Galaxy Diner
McDonald's.
because
Okay, hey, you brought that up last week or
Yeah.
so, and I did not want to go. So
oh, I needed it. I needed it because one, I was tipsy from my marg.
yeah,
And it was exactly what you want when you had a little alcohol.
good.
And then we went
I'm
to
glad.
Chiaka's, which is just the best sandwich spot in the world. Had the best Reuben of my life.
That's the place with the basement, right?
Mm-hmm. It's like in
I've
the
only been
basement.
once, but I was not impressed.
Oh,
So I
man.
feel like I need to give it another shot. And this was like 10 years ago.
You have to get the Italian or the Reuben.
Okay. Okay, I will do that.
Those are my recommendations. And just get both, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
But that was all about me. Let's talk about you, Rach. How was your holiday weekend?
It was really nice. We were in North Carolina visiting some friends.
Yeah.
It was just chill, a lot of fun. And one of the highlights,
Winston-Salem?
Winston-Salem,
Something fun
North
to do in
Carolina.
Winston-Salem?
Well, so it was just insanely hot.
Yeah.
So we were like, oh, we
Ugh.
could go on these like hikes or whatever. But then I was like, I can't be outside. And so we're like, oh, let's go bowling. That could be fun. But then a lot of bowling now is unnecessarily expensive. It's like, I remember a couple months ago, Skylar and I were like, oh, let's go bowling. And it was going to be $100 for us to go bowling. It's ridiculous.
That's absurd.
And
It's a
then
crime.
in our Googling, we found a bowling alley that does $3 games.
Yes.
And based on the website, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be like a old school bowling alley. By old school, I mean like mid 90s.
Yeah.
And we walked in, the floor was like space carpet, like a laser tag place. I was like, yes, it's like, wow, people probably haven't been able to smoke in there in years. It just like opened the door and it smells of cigarettes. And you're like, this is the vibe I want.
This is home.
All like when you
Youth.
got a strike or something, the graphics that would show up on the screen said copyright 1994 to 1995.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
love
for
that.
like $14 to play, all four of us to play a game.
That's
like
how it should be.
Yeah.
I don't know, these new fancy like roll or whatever it is. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I like that
hipster
vibe.
bowling. And I'm
Yeah.
not into that. I'm like, I don't need to sit on a leather couch and
No.
pay $40 for an hour of bowling.
No. I want to
With
go to
some
bowl.
fancy cocktail. No.
No. Ooh, whoa, no.
I want to get
a pitcher of beer,
nachos with fake ass cheese.
fake cheese, and a bunch of stuff that you keep in your freezer, like mozzarella sticks,
Yes.
and frozen pizza that you heat up under a weird lamp that tastes delicious.
Yeah, this place didn't even have like automatic bumpers.
Ooh.
They had like
the things they have to pull out,
the black tubes, and they would just have to like swing them around to get them into the right lane. It was
Did
awesome.
you use bumpers? That's how you found out?
No,
Or-
but I know because they're just sitting out.
Oh shit!
Because they just like pull them to the appropriate lane.
I love that. Oh
Yeah.
man, I've been bowling in so long. We should go bowling if we find a place that's as cool as that in Richmond.
Well, Skylar tried to search, and even the cheapest ones are still like probably $30 a person.
Why have they ruined joy?
But maybe I don't know how far and wide he searched. Like maybe if you get into like Mechanicsville, Hanover, there are.
You have to search. You have to spread it.
Yeah. I don't know.
That sounds bad.
I don't
hand
like
motions made
what
it
you're
worse.
doing there. Yeah.
Just ignore that. Ignore that.
So we talked about pulling from the jar today,
Mm.
but I also had some recent not hot goss, but like topics and things that I've seen floating around the internet. So I want to call them like zeitgeist topics right now, but they probably were like 2 weeks ago when I first heard about them, which means they were popular 2 weeks before that because I get my information from Instagram, which is a delay from TikTok.
So we're just going to be the delayed trending. We're the millennial trending. Right?
Yeah.
Does that count, or does millennials use?
What will the theme of this episode be, though? Current trends.
What's trending with your grandma?
Nice. Okay. Well, we'll figure it out. Okay. Have you heard of raw dogging flights?
God, that's aggressive. I didn't know we were going to start that.
Yeah,
aggressively,
hard and fast.
I mean, I know what raw dogging is.
And what is it?
I don't. Is that something we talk about? We're talking about on this podcast. This is not safe for work. I mean, it's having sex without a condom.
Yeah, I was like, that's not that aggressive of speak. You say that in like middle school health class.
I mean, for our podcast, have we really? Well, we've gone into.
We talk about like shitting in the streets, but we won't talk about
fornication,
having unprotected sex.
Fornication. We don't do that. So, wait a minute.
You're actively trying to get pregnant.
That's funny.
So you're raw dogging it every time, girl.
You're right about that.
Okay. So
raw dogging on a plane. So is it just like the Mile High Club?
Yeah, I was like gonna say, do you want to guess what it is?
Don't protect yourself on the mile.
No.
But I mean, like, I imagine people that are doing that in the bathrooms are already. Oh my God. Okay. So if it's unprotected sex is raw dog, you're on a flight. I'm trying to guess like what it could be. My initial thought is, are you doing something in your seat? You're in the open.
Okay, I think
like first class, maybe.
Wow, only in first class.
Well, because you have those like private like beds, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm thinking like, is this like a first class like thing?
I really don't.
Am I way
like
off?
where this, you are, and I'm just gonna cut it off because that's not what anyone wants. So raw. I mean, that makes sense where your mind would go there. Yeah. But raw dogging a flight is. I think like specifically men are doing it to like test their stamina. So it's essentially when you're on a long flight and you don't eat, drink, listen to music, or read. You just like sit and stare at the headrest in front of you. And that's raw dogging the flight as a test to your like mental stamina in a world where we always need to be distracted by something.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I'm
Is
like,
that's not real? Or is it just like one person made this statement, they didn't even do it themselves,
I don't
and
know.
they're
I
getting
mean,
other
granted that
idiots
you
to
see
do
like
it?
little videos of it online, but who knows if
Oh,
they're doing it for the full time. You're just seeing like a 7
yeah.
second video. But I'm like, okay, one, I could understand a media detox, like a
Yeah,
technology
totally.
detox.
I get that.
I don't understand not eating or drinking. Like, that's the
Get your
one
money's
exciting
worth.
thing about, yeah, you're already paying for an overpriced flight. Give me my pretzels.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, not even a book. Like, I can't read on planes because I get motion sickness, but
Uh,
like, I feel like reading is a healthy activity.
so can you
And
sleep? Did you say that? You could sleep?
oh, I don't
So they
think you can sleep.
I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like there's a bucket of things that you should do. Sitting there like a fucking idiot?
If I saw someone doing that, I'd be like, psychopath.
Psychopath. Yeah, it's 100% a psychopath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's what
also,
I would
can you
think.
imagine just, I mean, I guess that
I
is
don't
what
get
people
it.
used to do. Actually, no. They
No,
would
they
bring like a
didn't.
newspaper or a book or something. They would still like eat and drink the snacks. Like, no one
So are you
handled flights
can
like
you
that.
talk to your neighbor?
I guess, but if you do, no, thank you.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
want to
if
talk
I'm the
to you.
neighbor,
I want to listen to what's in my headphones.
yeah. I mean, there might be some like sweet old lady or gentleman that's like would love to gab with you, but like at the same time,
Yeah, I don't know if you're
it's
allowed
not their
to do that.
responsibility to keep you entertained. I guess, but you're saying in this scenario they don't need to be entertained. They're asking to just
Right. And
sit
also,
there.
I think it's stupid to be proud of your, like,
Oh,
I'm going to challenge myself just to do nothing for 8 hours. Good for you.
challenge yourself to get off the internet.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Stop posting on social media.
Yeah. And you know what I'd be more impressed by? If you did that during your day to day life, not stuck on a plane.
Seems so I'm with you on that. I don't
Even though I guess you can
understand.
be like engaged in other things, maybe that's part of it. You're like trapped in this tube in the sky and you just can't do anything.
And like part of me's thinking this is as dumb as the people that say they don't have an inner monologue. I think did we talk about that? Where you say they don't have a voice in their head? It's like that's the type of people I'm envisioning on these flights is they don't even have a voice in their head. They're just sitting there blank and
Yeah. Doo
empty.
doo doo.
Can you watch the flight tracker? Or I
Yeah,
guess you can't
maybe
watch
that's,
anything?
I don't know. I don't know all the details. I should have came more prepared.
I
I was just
mean,
curious if you had heard of it.
no. I have not heard of that.
So on your flight to Paris,
I will watch as
you
many
gonna
movies
raw
as I
dog it?
can. No. No. Also, don't call it that. Can we go back to that? Who picked the fucking name?
I don't know, a man.
God.
That's why it's called that.
It has nothing to do with sexual relations.
Well, you're, yeah, but also like a raw dog would just be like an uncooked hot dog.
True. Very plain and bland. A raw dog. Yeah. But you don't say I'm raw dogging it when you're eating
A
a
hot dog,
plain
no
hot dog.
condiments. I'm gonna.
I mean, I guess if you're raw dogging it in terms of a hot dog sense, are you even eating bun or is it straight just weenie with nothing?
Plain old weenie.
Plain old wiener.
I feel like if you're raw dogging it, I'm imagining you get the bun, but maybe you're just holding the ween.
Bold statement here. The same people who eat a plain hot dog are the people that are trying to do this raw dog challenge on flights. There it is. There it
Okay, if you
is.
see someone with no headphones in and not reading anything when you're on your next flight, you should ask them, how do you take your hot dog?
Ooh, done.
Yeah, you're not gonna do that.
I won't. But I kind of wish I would. I just don't want to start a conversation because then you
Yeah.
have to finish one.
Yeah, and then just be like, that's enough, and then
Yeah.
keep walking.
Just one
or
question. I don't want to interrupt your raw dogging, but
Oh,
God.
God. Like, excuse me? It's like an 82-year-old man.
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the hugging theory?
Hugging theory. There's a theory around hugging.
Yeah, that's been going around.
I saw one thing that says hugging your spouse or someone for like 20 seconds can like make you happier. And
Okay.
there's also like a kiss thing too.
Yeah,
that, like,
that's not what I'm talking about, but
Oh.
that is one I've heard, like, to actually get the, like, endorphins from a
Yeah,
hug, you need
endorphins.
to, like, be in the hug for 20 seconds.
That's what I've heard. That's not
Um,
the hugging theory.
Yeah.
God damn it. I'm too strike
Once,
two.
when I'd recently learned about this, a friend of mine's, I think, grandfather had passed away, and I gave her a hug, and I said, I'm going to stay in this hug for 20 seconds because that's what helps.
Yeah.
And I don't think she liked that.
Oh, really?
Well, she accepted it, but I also think it was kind of just like, oh, like I made it weird in a funny way just to lighten it, be like, I'm going to hold on for
I'm gonna
20
hold you.
seconds.
Yeah, 20
Just so
seconds.
you know. And
Hold you
20 seconds is a long
It is a long
time to
time.
be held.
But there's certain people that I'm like, yeah, we can hold this hug.
Yeah.
I want to hold the
Do you want to
hug.
hug me for 20 seconds?
It doesn't come to mind. It's
Yeah,
like
that's what I was saying. I was like, I don't want to hug you for 20 seconds. And that sounds
neither one of us are huggers,
mean.
though.
No, we're
Like, you
not.
need a hugger on the other end.
But okay, so the hugging theory
Oh.
is that the closer you are, the less you hug.
Oh my gosh, Lindsay and I have talked about this.
Yeah.
The 100% we've talked about this because her husband, Bruce, thought it was the weirdest thing that we're friends since high school and we're so close that we don't hug when we see each other.
Yeah.
Or hug goodbye or anything like that. He's like, that's the weirdest thing. And I was like, same with like, it's me, Lindsay, Janelle. Like, it's maybe with some of our friends because we don't see them as often, maybe we'll hug, but like, that's because they're huggers.
Yeah.
We just don't hug. We're like, yeah, what's up?
Now, I will say, so I feel like I have that same mindset, like to come into your home, and we've only been friends for like what, 5 years? To come into your home and hug you seems very uncomfortable.
Out of character.
Yeah.
It might be me though. I think part of it is that and like, if you're a non-hugger, if you're someone who's just that's not your instinct,
Yeah.
you're awkward. And people are like, I can tell that doesn't want to be hugged.
Yeah. Well, sometimes hugging can be nice as a like, I need a closure to this conversation that doesn't feel cold. And so you're just like, okay, bye, hug. And that's like some warmth. But I'm not a hugger. And now with like my best friends who don't like live in the area, and it is like very exciting when we see each other, we will be like, and like embrace or like have a big hug goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
But even though I'm thinking of two friends in particular, and they're like physical touch people and they like that.
Yeah.
And with like another friend, I'm like, yeah, we can hug because it's nice. We haven't seen each other in a while, but I don't feel the need to.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel those things. I just, there's certain people that I'm like, they're good huggers and I like to hug them every time I see them.
Yeah.
Like, I get excited about it.
Yeah.
We'll hug in the middle of just
that
hanging out.
Quality.
Yeah.
Where people are like, I like Skylar hugs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't need to be associated with that.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's definitely a thing that like,
I don't think I'm like anti-hug. Like, I will, because I am a codependent people pleaser. If someone else wants to hug, then I will.
Yeah.
But,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
that's fine with me. But I will not choose that as the action that I want. And I do think with people I'm closer with, especially not, like I'm more likely to hug someone I'm less close with.
Maybe. I mean, I get what you're saying.
And that is what the
That's
hugging
what the
theory is.
I think I can see both sides of it because, like, I did immediately think, like, yeah, 100%. Oh my gosh, I do that with Lindsay. But, like, another one of my friends that I'm, like, really close with, I want to hug. Like, that's just kind of how we are.
Yeah.
So I think it might hold a lot of merit because maybe in a lot of senses or in a lot of situations, people are like, yeah, that's me. I don't hug my best friend. But there's other situations where, especially if you have a good hugger, you have someone who wants to hug, I would hug them every time I saw them.
You also, when I like first met you in some conversation, you were like, oh yeah, I'm a toucher.
Physical touch is I think that's physical touch is something that how I express or like to the loving language thing.
Sure.
That's where I got that from.
Yeah. But you're saying that you
I just
don't like to hug.
Because like, but it has nothing to do with like, I don't like it has to do with gift giving too, I guess, in the same sense of like, I don't like a force, like we're required to hug, we need to hug here because hello, goodbye type scenario.
Okay. When you
And I'm awkward and I don't like to
feel
hug
the
in general.
instinct to hug, that's when you want it. I'm very curious. This moment that you're talking about with this friend that just in the middle of hanging out, he'll be like, we got to hug. You're a good hugger.
It happens often. It's mostly with Melanie, I feel like. It's very much of like, Ashmel, come here. Let's just hug for a minute.
It's nice.
Yeah. And she's a good hugger, so I think that leads a lot to it as well.
And part of me is like, yeah, honestly, like a weak ass hug, you don't want that.
No.
And as I was talking about Skylar, I'm like, I do enjoy hugging him. If I'm like, I feel sad, hug me. And you get a really good bear hug in there.
I do that often.
And
That's how I knew the 20-second thing.
Yeah. And sometimes he's like, you need to let go. I'm cooking dinner. I'm like, no, here I am.
I have to go back to work.
Yeah. Well, while I don't want to hug you and you don't want to hug me, I'm also like, wow, I can't believe you don't want to hug me.
Oh. Don't say that. That's not has
I'm
nothing to do
curious
with you.
the vibe that I give off of not wanting to be hugged. But maybe that's true because I don't.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's just because I'm never gonna proactively hug someone unless I know that you're a hugger or you're someone I like to hug.
Yeah.
I'm more like I don't know, it depends. There's obviously certain scenarios when you're talking about certain things and you're like, I want to hug this person.
Yeah.
I want them to know that I love them.
Yeah.
Not that a hug means love or like, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I'm going in circles here.
Yeah. Well, then I was also think like we had like a heavy conversation a few weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, at no point, I think maybe in my mind, I was like, some people hug here, but that's not us.
It's not us. Same thing with Lindsay and I. We had very similar conversation and it wasn't a hug. It wasn't a hug moment.
And then sometimes when you're sharing heavy stuff, it's like, if you hug me, I'm gonna start crying,
so
and I don't want that.
Yeah.
So you stay away.
Yeah. Right now, like 100%. There are 100% scenarios where you're like, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't come close to me.
Don't even ask me how I am, because then you get the like,
if you ask me if I'm
gravity
okay,
pulling down your lip.
I'm about to ugly cry here. Yeah. Don't do it. I hate it when people ask if you're doing okay when it's clearly you're holding and crying.
Yeah. Do you hug your parents when you see them?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. My family is a hugger. We do the whole like, essentially hug everyone when you say hello and goodbye, which honestly, I don't need that either. Like, I think I do enjoy like hugging my parents, and I love my siblings. Sorry, I think they do listen to this, but I'm not like oh, I need to do this.
Yeah.
Whereas like with my parents, there's like this child in me that's like, oh, I want to hug him. Good.
100%. I like.
So like, do you hug your brother?
I feel like we do, but it's definitely not a like we want.
It's kind of just like a hey,
formality.
hello,
Yeah,
goodbye hug.
Yeah. It's and it's probably very possible that neither of us want to or really need to. It's more of like everybody else is hugging. That's when you get caught up in those hugs. I feel like I love hugging my parents. I just don't. I feel like I don't see them enough. You know what I mean? So like that means more, even though it's not like I see my brother every day.
Right.
But it's like it's my brother.
Yeah. My siblings are gonna listen and be like, what the fuck, Rachel? You don't want our hugs? I do.
We do. It's just neither one of us want
it's a compliment.
Yeah.
It's saying I feel so close to you.
Hugging theory.
That I don't need it. So it's a positive, actually.
Hugging theory. Yeah, you basically just put them in that hugging theory bucket.
Yeah.
We're so close.
But also similarly, if like a friend or family member you haven't seen in a long time, has just been like going through it, then I do feel an instinct to be like, yeah, I'm going to give you a good squeeze.
Good little.
Yeah.
Extra, not just 20 seconds. We're going 30.
Whoa.
Too much.
No, I'll just more so give a tight squeeze.
There's probably
a
a
long
point
squeeze
of diminishing returns on that.
You've been holding on to me for 3 minutes now. Oh.
Let go.
Okay.
Yeah. Hugging theory. Yeah. That's fun.
Yeah.
I need to get my algorithms are not feeding me things like this.
Yeah. Well, I actually think it's this one podcast I listen to, and like one of the hosts on it is like very much like in the media and knows all the current trends, and she will bring up on the podcast these things, and I'm like, that is so interesting. I'm going to bring it up on my podcast.
Ooh. I'm trying to think of like what my algorithms are showing me that's trending.
Yeah, because I actually don't think I've seen I don't think I've been served any of these, the raw docking or the hugging theory. I think maybe even I've like seen it. I get like the Skim newsletter, and so they'll have little like links of like, oh, this weird thing that's trending right now, and I'll click on it. So maybe that's how I heard of some of them.
I don't know. Mine's all sports. Now that I'm thinking, I can't think of a single thing that hasn't happened recently that's sports related or cooking and ASMR, like with the cooking stuff.
Yeah, that's not mine.
That's all I get.
Mine has recently turned into like home gadget finds that you really need. And I'm like, I keep sending them to Skylar. And he's like,
Home
yeah.
gadget finds.
Just like, oh, this like, okay. There is this like knife that's kind of like scissors, where like the bottom of the scissor is a little cutting board. So you just like are like cutting, so like cucumbers or something, rather than like getting out a cutting board and having to like,
Oh,
I don't know, it's very cool to me.
yeah.
But like little things like that
I can just
my
sit
eyes.
here and cut
Yeah.
cucumbers off into a plate.
You know what I'm raw dogging right now?
Oh, right now.
The temperature in this room. I'm starting to get warm.
I told you. I was like, we might need to keep this.
No, yeah, don't turn it on. We can
Okay.
do it. How long have we been chatting?
I mean, it's been like 30 minutes.
Okay. Well,
40
I have
minutes.
Are
30
you just guessing?
I can't remember when we started.
Good. This is gonna be a 7-hour episode.
But we only have 15 more minutes max because of
because we have to wait for trivia. Okay, well that's perfect. So I have one more thing that people were chatting about recently, and I'm curious your opinion. The meanings of certain emojis. So, like, when do you use emojis? And like, just do you use like certain ones with certain people? Like the heart emoji. Are you like, oh, or the thumbs up? What does the thumbs up emoji mean to you? When would you use that?
I use that if someone's asking a question or like hey, hope that's cool. Yep.
Yeah.
That's a yep.
Okay.
It's
I
cool.
use it as acknowledgement.
Yeah. Like, I see you. I got it. Cool.
Yeah. It doesn't need me to text out a response, but heard.
Hey, I'm on the way home. And then some. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thumbs up.
Gotcha.
Well, some people think it's very passive aggressive.
Are people just trying to be insulted at all times? They want to feel things.
Like,
it's just a thumbs up.
I'm like, wow, then people must think I'm an asshole. Because even in work on Slack, I am thumbs upping the shit out of stuff.
Everything.
Like, yeah, just letting you know I've seen this.
Yeah, I got you, bro.
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, this is a good idea. I like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
I thumbs up everything.
Yeah.
Does it matter if you select a skin tone on the thumbs up? Like, does that make it more passive aggressive? Or if you're just using the basic yellow? Am I going too deep into this?
Well, I don't feel like it's passive aggressive to choose your skin tone.
No, I mean, like,
what are you like, yeah, we get it. You're black. Like, what are you saying?
No, I mean, the fact that you have you've set it in your phone, that means you use the thumbs up more frequently. Does that make it like better or worse when you see a thumbs up that someone's come through that's not yellow? No? Does that not make sense?
I think so. I don't know. Though for some reason, like me as a white person, I have not set the skin tone of my emojis.
Me neither.
And for some reason, when like people who aren't white do it, I'm like, oh, cool. But if I do it as a white person, it's like, yeah, you're white.
I just never thought to change it.
Yeah, it does seem like effort.
Yeah. Okay. That's why I'm like, maybe if you put in more effort and change your tone on your thumbs up, maybe it's like, oh, they don't mean this negatively. Whereas if it's just like, you just threw a yellow thumb at me.
That would
lazy asshole.
I mean, I'm lazy. But once you like pick it, it just stays that way forever. It's not like each time you're choosing your skin tone.
Oh, I just clearly don't use it enough.
Yeah.
I didn't know how that worked.
So someone I work with has a darker skin tone for their thumbs up. And from what I can visually see about them, they are very white.
Oh.
And I don't know if they're aware that they do this, or maybe, people can be mixed and like present as being white when they're actually mixed.
Sure.
But I'm just like, this seems problematic.
Really? I was thinking of it more of like,
bad for a white person to be using a black thumbs up.
No, it's a thumbs up. It's an emoji. What are we really talking about?
Yeah, but you're
here?
like, choose now if it's just like a random like Italian man or whatever, like for you to be choosing, be like, okay, I'm gonna choose what I represent.
Well,
And to
if you're
choose,
choosing what you represent, sure, but maybe you just choose it because you liked it. I feel like,
but it's not like there's rainbow colors. It's clearly like pick your skin tone. It's not like you can have a blue thumbs up.
oh,
Because in that, I could understand. Then I could see you just having a like actual black thumbs up because you like black.
I
But
do.
choosing
Yeah.
like a dark brown, a light brown, like clearly all these things that are for races, that does seem weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm very much like it's an emoji. I don't care enough to think that like, oh my God, you're white and you're using a black thumbs up. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'd be curious to ask some black people how they would feel about
Sure.
white people using like the darker tinted or darker skinned
Yeah.
emojis because it is
Interesting.
not just a color.
Yeah. I mean, it's just an emoji though.
Yeah, I think it's very easy to say that as like the privileged race in our society, just to be like, oh,
An
you choose.
emoji? Talking emojis here.
I know, but you are allowed to customize them to make people feel like, oh, yeah, this is me. So I do think it's weird to be like, is it to be like, oh, I'm representing my skin tones as black?
I mean, if you make a statement that says this is a representation of my skin tone,
But that's what it is.
is
Like, I
I
get what you're saying that it's
yeah
just an emoji,
yeah.
but there are like 10 you can choose from, and they are skin tones. It's not like when you use the robot one, it's like, oh, do you want to be a white robot or a black robot? It's just the robot.
So if I were to pick a darker skin tone, like for maybe a Native American,
Yeah,
and I'm clearly Irish and pale as fuck and probably need more of like a white thumb, like literal white, is that bad?
I do think it's weird. And now I'm very curious. Like, maybe I'm the only one who thinks it's weird. Like, if you just leave it as yellow, which is the default,
Yeah, I
the
just don't
like
take the time.
Simpsons color yellow, which is what mine is, I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, okay. But I feel like if you make a choice, that's like you're saying, yeah, this is my thumb
Or I just really
to
like
differentiate you because I do like it when
darker,
people do choose their skin tones and a bunch of thumbs up and you like see all
the
the
different
different
ones.
like I'm like, oh, look at the diversity in the in the thumbs.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't know. I feel like I can see if I were to pick a color, I'd be like, ooh, I like it if I was tan. I'd like to be
Oh, so
more.
you're seeing it aspirational.
Yeah. I mean, I don't, there's
You're
many
like, I work
ways.
remotely. I want people to think I'm tanner than I am.
I feel like there's plenty of ways that you could interpret. If you want to interpret an emoji, you can interpret it positively or negatively. You get that as to, you get to do that yourself. You get to choose if you want to feel like this thumbs up is passive aggressive,
I mean,
that is
just
your
to take it
choice.
to a really dark place,
Oh God.
that's like someone walking around with the Confederate flag or like a Nazi symbol and being like, you're choosing to take it to a bad place. This is just
Jesus.
patriotism.
I
You're
mean,
choosing to find it racist.
yeah, if you're taking an emoji and comparing it to a Confederate,
But I'm just saying,
I don't get the comparison there. I do not understand it.
I feel like normally you're the one who's causing the
Causing the drums?
yeah. So I'm very curious because maybe I am the only one who thinks this weird, and this is going to be like the peen and pools thing where I just assumed everyone was like, "Oh yeah, clearly that is strange."
No,
But
I mean, I feel like more than likely it's me. People are like, Jen needs to get a little bit more passionate about these emojis.
Jen, you don't need to be passionate about the emojis because I'm not passionate about it, but I do think it's potentially weird and problematic for when you're actively saying, "I'm going to pick my skin tone," and then to pick one that is very clearly not you. Now, if you want to be like slightly tanner, that's fine. I understand. But to be like, you know what? I'm black. That
I mean,
is not okay. Or to be like, I'm Indian.
if you want to feel like someone who picks a skin tone to tell you that they're that color, then yeah. I'm like, it's an emoji to me. I still can't get past the fact that we're getting passive aggressive from a thumbs up. Like, Jesus, people.
Again. I'm not saying it's someone being passive aggressive. I just
No,
think
people
it's
feel passive aggressive though. Like they think it's passive aggressive, a thumbs up.
well, I have no idea. I would
thought that
think that.
Oh,
Well, this was just me oh no.
right?
Yeah, sorry. I thought you were specifically talking about the color
Oh,
choice. I'm
no.
just saying like
I'm saying
the
yeah.
thumbs up in general, aside from whatever race your thumb is.
Yeah. It's apparently passive aggressive,
Yeah.
which I just yeah, I don't
Okay. Then next one, the heart emoji. Do you put any weight into the color of heart that you use?
No, I use red because it's the one that's there, but in my work Slack emojis, we use green because we're green colored.
My company uses orange because they're
Yeah,
orange.
and I think that's fun.
Yeah.
That's I mean, my heart's not green, but, you know, it's fun. It's it's mission
Mine's
lane.
orange.
Yeah?
My heart, yeah. No, but and when I
You
am
pick
like
orange specifically, or you said that's just for the company one too?
that is the company one too. I honestly am just a red heart user.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel the need to be like, okay, well, white is for sympathy and yellow is for friendship. But apparently people are like, oh, I would only use the red heart with my closest friends because that is like intimate.
What?
And
Really?
I
It's a
am
heart.
curious, like I heart messages in text all the time.
All the
And
time.
that's just to be like, I like
Love
this.
this.
I use the thumb as acknowledgement
Got
and the
it.
heart as I like/love this.
Yeah. Love this, love you, sending my love.
Yeah.
Any type of like
But even if I'm
love.
saying like something to someone, I will, and it involves hearts, like happy birthday, love you, miss you, whatever. Like it's always the red heart.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I
Um,
like that. Although, which is odd. I think there's a black heart,
yeah,
and I
you should start
love
using that.
that. I do love that. I feel like it's more of a representation of my actual heart.
Yeah.
So there's people are saying there's different hearts for
Like
different
they
scenarios.
mean different things.
That's insane.
Yeah.
We're really
Like keeping it more casual.
I can't keep up.
And now granted, I was like, okay, I wouldn't like text with my electrician hearts, but I also wouldn't send them hearts about anything.
I also I'm not using emojis
Yeah.
to communicate with an electrician.
Right. Now maybe I'll use like a light bulb or something because I'm fun.
Oh.
But I actually, you know what? If I was working with like a contractor or something, I could be like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about the framing of this. It looks so good. Heart.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
I
I
can
get
see
that.
myself doing that.
I get
But
that.
I don't think twice about the color of it. And red being more romantic and intense.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I really hope that any of the people that I text, which I know is not the case, I hope they don't read into my emojis because I'm not hip. I'm not hip with it.
Yeah.
I don't have the up to date lingo for
What's your most common? Do you ever use emojis?
yes.
What's your most common like what emojis do you like to use the most in work to react to situations?
Well, at work?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I do a lot of emojis at work. But only with like the people that I message.
Oh yeah, with my
Like,
manager, I get real honest with my emoji usage.
yeah.
We have that relationship.
I mean, with my managers and stuff, I probably use the thumbs up the most often. Like, yeah, I got that, or like plus sign of like, yep,
Yeah.
like ditto to that, or this, the arrow. I use
I
this
guess
a lot.
we use the pointing finger to like emphasize like I agree with what this person said.
Oh.
What are your like potentially negative ones? Mine would be the grimacing face. Like
Oh.
yikes. Or the upside down smiley. I use that one a lot to just be like, this is good. It's like my sarcasm smiley
shit.
face be like, this will be fun. Upside down smiley face.
I use the one that's just blinking eyes and flat mouth of just like,
Yeah, I do like that one.
I can't be bothered with
Like,
this.
yeah.
But it's very obvious because I also probably say with that, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's WTF with just a straight eyes.
I'm checking my text, sorry, because a friend texted me and said, tell Jen.
Ooh, tell Jen.
Angel food and shortcake are very different cakes.
I learned that actually.
They are very different cakes.
I love that she said that because literally on July 4th, I was like, I have strawberry shortcake. And people were like, oh, I'll take some. And I went in to cut the angel food cake and put the dollop of whipped cream and to cut up strawberries. And they're like, this is not in strawberry shortcake. And I was like, yeah. Oh, whoops.
Now, is strawberry shortcake like pound cake?
I don't know what strawberry shortcake
Because
is.
I used to think pound cake and angel food cake were the same when I was younger because my granny always had angel food cake and I would get excited thinking it was pound cake. Which they're both good, but angel food cake's like lighter.
It's great.
It's not as dense and buttery the way pound cake is.
Yeah. I thought angel food cake, and someone's going to be like, duh, Jen, you have angel food cake. It says it on there. And it's just like, yeah, but when you add the whipped cream and the strawberries, it makes it a strawberry shortcake.
That's dumb.
Literally, I'm an idiot. I mean, I don't think that we've ever pretended I'm not an idiot, but I think that's too funny that they said that because that's what I learned that on July 4th this year. Learn something new every year.
Well, USA, baby.
What is a strawberry shortcake, though?
I don't know. When I think of it, I think of like a little pound cake type thing.
I think of the ice cream that we talked about.
Oh, the eclair.
Yeah, but that has the strawberry version.
Yeah.
I think that's called strawberry shortcake.
I honestly think of that little doll from the 90s.
A doll?
That cartoon, the strawberry shortcake girl.
Yikes.
You're doing the grimacing face.
Doing the grimacing. I'd probably do it in real life.
Yeah.
More than probably the emoji, but I love the emoji. Yeah, I don't know if I know about the strawberry shortcake girl.
All right, well, I'll show you a picture. You'll probably recognize her.
Yeah.
Okay, so in summary,
summarizations.
Raw dogging flights is dumb. Emoji usage is controversial. I guess not to us, except maybe you're gonna change your skin tone to be a race that you're not, and people are gonna be like, "That's
you can't
problematic."
Do that. But also, just like it's an emoji. Let's not be so serious about it. Okay, just gonna throw that out there. That's my little tidbit.
But it's your identity.
It's not. It's an emoji.
If you're choosing your skin tone,
this is where you're
doing it to represent yourself. Now, if it's just using the thumbs up as passive aggressive, that's stupid.
Yeah, let's get over that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, I won't let it go. Angel food cake is not strawberry shortcake.
No, it's not.
And I will not think you're in love with me if you send me a red heart emoji.
And the hugging theory. Don't forget.
Oh, right. The hugging theory. Don't hug me and only hug Jen if you think it's going to be real quality.
Oh, yeah. I like good huggers.
Yeah. You know, I think I'm like, I'm not a hugger, but now I'm thinking like the friend who just texted me, when I see her and her husband, I'm like, get in here.
See?
Because it's like exciting to see them. Now it makes it sound like I'm not excited to see my siblings.
We're going back to that. Let me save Rachel from this.
I am excited to see you. Hug me.
Oh, no, this is good.
How long it's been. I think the time factor is important.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yep. Like if I saw you the weekend before, I'm not like, oh, we need to hug again. But if it's been a couple months, then like, yeah, Ben, come on in. Ben. Molly, I'm getting you shout outs.
Johnny, we cannot hug.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching, listening. Please like, comment, subscribe. It makes us feel good. Leave a review. And send in topics. We haven't picked from the jar in a while. We have gotten some good submissions. So thank you so much to all those folks who have done that. Maybe next time we'll pull from the jar. Yeah. And if you don't want to send in submissions, just send in some strawberry shortcake for me to learn what that is. Yeah. Send us some strawberry shortcake. Spaghetti. I'm ready, spaghetti. Remember Betty Spaghetti? Did you have that? I don't feel like you were someone who maybe played with dolls. Oh, that was a doll. Yeah. No, I did not. I wasn't much of a doll player. Oh, my pants.